Worst thing I've ever seen. No offence, our old kid, but are you on crack? Imagine this side getting United to the Prem on a tiny budget and doing a post like this. They are a team, all contributed, this table is daft, all blades, our blades. Delete, this is bad, really bad. Gazmadine, low tier, sort it out. WRONG, wrong. Medina and Wright low tier, get this. They're all comments from fellow blades commenting on my god tier tweet. Yeah, apparently I know naff all about football. But let me explain anyway. Lads, welcome to a brand new video on the channel. It's another Sheffield United video, as you might expect. You might think, Nick, where are you getting all your content from? Well, it's all up here. It's just all up here. However, this one's not gone too well. I've been seeing these kind of like god tier, top tier, mid tier, low tier, bottom tier things. And normally they do them on like sweets, crisps, like what's it's a lower tier, Quavers a god tier, whatever. And I thought, end of the season, we've done really well. We're not really moaning about anything. We've had a great season. Let's just have a bit of a laugh, bit of something fun to do on Twitter. Twitter is not the place you want to be doing anything fun, by the way, guys. Just don't. So I made up this god tier, top tier thing. I didn't do it on the website because it wasn't very easy to use. So I thought I'd do it on Photoshop. But I'll leave a link to it in the description if you want to do your own. I don't know if you can do footballers on that. I'm not sure what you can and can't do. I looked at it, looked a bit crap, moved on, did my own. Anyway, so I thought I'd do a god tier, a top tier, a mid tier, low tier, bottom tier. And you know me, guys, I'm a very level-headed person. I try not to get too excited when we're doing really well. I just try and stay at a level and just say how I see it, really. So yeah, I am a down-to-earth blade, and I just thought I'd do this as a bit of fun. But like I've just said, Twitter did not see it that way. So, for the god tier, by the way, before I start, I messed this tweet up twice, really. The first time I messed it up, I forgot to put in... Who did I forget? Dean Henderson. I forgot to put Dean Henderson in. The guy with the most clean sheets of the season. Oopsie daisy. And as well, you might notice that John Lundstram is not in here. The reason for that is... stupid. So John Lundstram would be in mid-tier, I would say. So anyway, I'm going to crack through them. I'm going to go from top tier to bottom tier. The reason why I've had to do a video on this, because I need to explain my choices. The thing is, you do something at one time. I've not been clouded, my judgment has not been clouded by anybody on Twitter. People calling me this, that, the other. The reason why I did it, at the time, I was like, right, I'm gonna base this on players that are good enough to step up to the Premiership. Just because they might be in top or mid, doesn't mean that they're not gonna do well in the Premiership. The reason why I've put them in god tier is because I think that those players are the most equipped to kind of keep on going and playing in the Premiership and playing really well. So anyway, I've had to put Billy Sharp in top tier. Billy Sharp, for me, might struggle in the Premiership, but I said this about the Championship and look at him, he banged 20 odd goals in this season. So, but he is a god and he deserves to be up there. Then I put David McGoldrick in next, and this is one of the only players that I might have changed my mind on. Like, don't get me wrong, McGoldrick has had an excellent end to the season. He's had a great season, but I probably should have put him in the top tier. Yeah, I think he'll do well in the Premiership. I really think he'll do well. I think that the Premiership's more geared towards McGoldrick because he's better on the ball. He'll get more time on the ball in the Premiership, so I think McGoldrick will be great in the Premiership. I really, really do. I think he might handle it better than Billy, but let's see. Then I've got Jack O'Connell, and Jack O'Connell is just excellent. He's our best. In my opinion, is on par with Ollie Norwood as our best player. So of course Jack O'Connell's going to step up to the Premiership, and of course he's god tier. Somebody said swap Jack O'Connell for Basham, and I was like, that's just wrong. yeah, then moving on to Ollie Norwood. What an absolute baller, in my opinion, probably the best player we have. He actually had a hernia for the second half of the season as well. What does that say? I saw this picture on Instagram of Ollie, and I was like, first of all, oh, look at him, he looks so cute. But also I thought, God, how has that man played at such a high level and had a hernia since December or whatever it was? But yeah, absolute baller, deserves to be top tier, no problem whatsoever. Then we've got John Fleck, in my opinion, is one of the best players at the club. May not have had the best of seasons, but still absolutely quality. That's why he ain't got dropped all season, because he's quality. And he could easily step up to the Premiership. Then we've got Dean Henderson. Well, when I eventually put him in. I put him in last thing because obviously I forgot, but he's got to be in there. He's special. He's going to be a very, very good goalkeeper in the future. In my opinion, in the long run, we probably should have tried to buy him. Because if he has one good season in the Premiership, it could be worth, I don't know, 25 million next season if he has one good season. Being English is a big factor. He's the under-21's #1 goalkeeper. Anyway, that's my God tier. Egan was very, very close to God tier because Egan's been excellent this season. If I'm honest, I would have liked to have put him in between God tier and top tier. The only reason for that is he's only had one season. He's had one season. He's been really good. He has been really good, don't get me wrong. But Jack's been at it for 3 years. Billy's been at it for a long time. Ollie Norwood is the step up. Ollie Norwood is the best player in the team. Fleck's been at it for years. Dean Henderson is special. I know we kind of put him in the same bracket as Chris Morgan, but I do think that Chris Morgan is better, or was better, should I say. And the thing is, really, Chris Morgan didn't manage to step up, did he? Chris Morgan stepped up with us, had a decent season, but then if he'd have made that step up like Jag, step up, come back down, someone buy him, fair enough. But he just didn't make that step up, and in my opinion, Chris Morgan is better than John Egan. Only very slightly, and John Egan's still very young, so John Egan could surpass him. Chris Morgan was obviously a very experienced centre-back. So that's the reason why I didn't put him in top tier, because he might not manage the step up. I hope he does. I think he will, but you don't know. We don't know. Same with Basham, really, because if this was on likeability, he would definitely be God tier. But it's not. And Basham's been really, really good. He's been brilliant for us. Even when we were under like Adkins and stuff, he was just brilliant. And you could see the determination and the passion that he had for the Blades. And he's done so well with the tools that he's been given. He's not the greatest of footballers. He's not really a defender. He's not really, I don't know what he is, because he's not quite good enough on the ball to be a midfielder. He's not really a stopper. He's not a great defender. He's just a bag of everything. And he's brilliant, and I love the guy. He's been so good this season at bringing the ball out, getting into good positions to score goals, because he scored goals this season. He's been great at kind of linking up, with kind of like playing 1-2s and getting forward. He's great in the air. He is a good defender, but like I say, he's a bag of tricks. He's a bag of everything. So, in my opinion, in the Premiership, you've got to be good at one specific thing. And I think there's not too many kind of all-rounders that do well in the Premiership. But again, I hope he does really well. I love Bash. Then we've got Enda Stevens, who was probably like that much off being God tier. He's had an excellent end to the season, and in my opinion, I think he will be one of the best players of next season. And if we keep hold of him, which I hope we will, I'm sure we will, and he's that good that he could be playing top half of the Premiership football for the next 10 years or whatever. I think he's brilliant, and such a good buy. Then we've got Mark Duffy. Again, some people have said, oh, he should be God tier. He's been brilliant, he's been excellent, and he's great at what he does. But I don't think he should be top tier. I love Mark Duffy. Mark Duffy is probably my favourite player. And I don't think he should be up there, because I don't think... And the reason why I didn't put him up there was mainly because I'm not sure if he's going to play too many games next season. I'm not sure. Like, sometimes Wilder likes to drop him out and put Dowell in and stuff like that. And I know he always came back fighting, but the thing is, you never saw him drop Fleck, you never saw him drop Norwood, you never saw him drop like any of the back five really. So it just proves that Wilder wasn't 100% on him. But anyway, I love Mark Duffy, so I'm not going to keep going on about his flaws, because I love him. Then we've got mid-tier. A lot of people put George Bulldog top tier. I didn't, because I just I couldn't bring myself to put him on the same level as Ender Stevens. I love George Bulldog, another guy that I really, really like. However, I just think he needs to work on his final ball into the box. Like a lot of people said, Freeman was great at putting the ball into the box, not so good at the defending. Bulldog's good at defending, not so good in the final third. Now, he's put a few good balls in this season, but it's not quite good enough. To be top tier, I think he would have to be putting better balls into the box, maybe popping up and scoring a few more goals, like what Ender Stevens been doing at the end of the season. So that's the reason why I put George there. The reason why I put Simon Moore at mid-tier was mainly because I know that if we needed him to step up and come in for one game, he would do it with flying colours. Yeah, and next season I'd be happy to have him as second goalkeeper. So yeah, it's just my opinion really. Like, people can disagree, people can put him on lower tier, but I just think he's a solid goalkeeper. That's it, a solid goalkeeper. Then we move on to Kieran Dowell. The reason why I put him in mid-tier was mainly because I don't think he's good enough for the step up to the Premiership. I think he's done all right this season. He's good. He was good at those away games when we were kind of pegged back, and then he would take the ball out of defence and get us on a counter attack. He's great at doing that. He's got a good finish on him. He's not strong enough for my liking, and I know Duffy's not the strongest guy in the world, but he holds on to it really, really well, and Dowell just doesn't do that for me. Then we're moving on to Martin Craney, and I nearly put him top tier. I really did, but he's not played enough games for me to move him up. I've really liked Craney this season. I think he's been one of the unsung heroes. Saying that, a lot of people have been shouting his praises, but I think he's been excellent every time he's played. And the matches that he hasn't played, and he's come on as a sub at kind of right wing back or something, he's bought into Chris Wilder's philosophy massively, and he absolutely loves flying down that wing. And that's one of the reasons why I was sad when he didn't offer him a new contract, because he bought into it straight away. Like, for instance, Marvin Johnson, he was an attacking winger. It's not his bag. But Craney loved playing that right centre back, or left centre back, or wing back, and he could do it all. And you need those sorts of players in your team, like your Basham, who can play different positions. You need those. And I'm surprised he didn't offer him a contract. But in Chris Wilder we trust, don't we? So then we move on to big Richard Steerdog Stearman. And someone said in one of the tweets, if it was down to celebrations alone, he would be God tier. And I absolutely agree. But it's on playing. It's not on celebrations. It's not on downing pints. It's not on throwing pints, actually, because it didn't seem like he drunk that much. Anyway, so Richard Stearman, he has stepped up in the games that we needed to. I wouldn't feel comfortable having him centre back for long periods of the season, especially in the Premiership, not even in the Championship. So that's the reason why he's mid-tier. He can step in for a game, but in my opinion, I wouldn't want him any longer in the team. Then we've got Kieran Freeman, and this is a weird one because he shouldn't really be on the same level as Bulldog, but he's not really done anything wrong. Bulldog's just seems like he wants it more. Bulldog seems like he wants to be in the team. Freeman just seems a bit meh, can't be bothered. But Kieran Freeman, in my opinion, is on level with George Bulldog. It just depends which one you want. If you want the Kieran Freeman who's going to be putting balls into the box, getting in there, scoring goals, or you want the George Bulldog who's going to be great at kind of the passing and moving, but maybe not so good in putting the ball into the box. So yeah, it's a weird one with Kieran Freeman. I do think he could do the step up to the Prem, but it doesn't seem like he's that bothered. Then we've got Coots, which is another one that people did say, oh, he should have been lower tier, and maybe I should have put him lower tier. because he's not really played much this season. But he's just been excellent for the last like season and a half before he got injured. And I just think that if he starts playing well again, he could be top tier. That's why I've kind of put him in mid tier. Like I say, I possibly should have put him lower tier, but maybe it was me loving him a bit too much. But I don't know. It's one of them things. Like, it's my opinion. Then we've got a weird one, because I put Keane Bryan in at lower tier. Maybe I should have put him bottom tier. I've only seen him play once, but Wilder seems to really like him. Wilder's not got rid of him just yet, so Wilder must see something in him. I think that's kind of why I put him in lower tier. These are the two that everyone hates me for. Right, okay. Let me explain for a second, right. So Gary Medine and Scott Hogan, I'm going to put them both in together because they're both pretty much the same. Got them at the same time. Both had reputations as being kind of like a step up. Like, the reason why Wilder brought them in at the end of the season was to score goals, to give us that kind of next level attacking threat. Yeah, attacking threat. And for me, if they didn't come with the name Gary Medine and Scott Hogan, and it was Dave Smith and Jimmy Jones, then I'm not sure Dave Smith and Jimmy Jones, people would be like, oh, they had a great season. They didn't really, did they? Scott Hogan scored 2 goals, one being a very important one against Ipswich, where he did make a good run to the front post. It's against a poor team. If you'd have seen the goal that he scored, he did make a good run to the front post. The defence just weren't bothered. It was a good finish. And he scored a header against Bristol City from point blank range. Other than that, kind of just ran around. He didn't do a great deal. And this is the reason why I've put him lower tier. I think that people wanted to put Medine and Hogan at mid tier and top tier. I just don't think they're that good. And maybe maybe Medine should be higher than Simon Moore or something, but I just thought that Medine was more of a liability than an asset. I really do, because he could have ruined us in that game against Brentford when he got sent off. We came through that 1-2-1, but if it weren't for Medine, that could have derailed our whole season. He was rubbish against Wednesday. He's been rubbish in a lot of games, Medine. And I just don't think either of them are really good. I don't think Medine's a top of the championship striker. I don't think Hogan is. I think Hogan had kind of like good seasons with Brentford and stuff. He's not hit the ground running with Villa. I just think he's lost a lot of confidence. He's had some injuries. And I don't think we're going to see Hogan any better than he was this season. Medine, I think he's past it. He's really, really poor at times. Really bad. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on him, and that's the reason why I kind of went for him in that way, and I put him lower tier. Again, maybe I should have put him in mid tier, but the thing is with this, look how much space you've got. Like, I know I've made it myself, but if it was up to me, I'd put them all God tier. They all deserve it. They were all brilliant, but the thing is, it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? And it kind of went from being a bit of fun to not being fun anymore, because people were just taking it seriously. People being like, how can you put them into this? This is stupid. It's just a bit of fun, lads. It's just a bit of fun. Anyway, let's move on. Jake Eastwood. The reason why I put him in low tier, I'm going to rattle through these because I'm sick of looking at this image anyway. Jake Eastwood. The reason why I put him at lower tier was because I've seen him play a few times and I really like him, and I think he's got potential to be good. So I couldn't put him bottom tier. Jake Wright. Would love to put Jake Wright mid or top tier, because I'm one of Jake Wright's biggest fans, but he's not played for a long time. And the reason why I put Moore on mid and Jake Wright lower was really because if Moore came in for one game, I would be happy that Moore could come in, do a job, keep a clean sheet, whatever. If Jake Wright came in after like a year and a half without playing football, like Stayman can come in after playing not playing much football all season. Jake Wright hasn't played a minute. So that's the reason why I wouldn't feel comfortable bringing Jake Wright straight into the team. And that's why I've put him lower tier. And finally, bottom tier. It's not really a surprise, is it? Connor Washington. he's not really been very good, has he? Like, you can see that he's running around like a headless chicken, trying to do well. But for me, he's a poor man's Hogan. Probably just a Hogan, really. I'm not too keen on Hogan, and I'm not too keen on Washington. But I like the fact that Washington runs around a lot and tries his best. It's just not going for him, is it? I think he needs to go into League One, and I think he needs to get his confidence back scoring goals, and hopefully we'll see him back in the Championship at some point. Hopefully not us see him in the Championship. We're in the Premiership for a long time. And then finally, we've got Marvin Johnson. I didn't mind Marvin Johnson, like kind of sort of season, but he's made some mistakes. He's made some big mistakes, and but I don't blame him. I really don't blame him, because Marvin Johnson is not a defender. Why we're playing him left wing back? He shouldn't have been signed in the first place, should he? Unless you're going to play him attacking midfield, you shouldn't really be playing Marvin Johnson in a defensive role. And that's the reason why people don't like him, because he made mistakes in a defensive position, which is not his position. So I can't really blame him too much. I can't blame him at all, really. Just seemed like his desire wasn't there, and that's the reason why I didn't take a shine to him. But anyway, that's it. Thank you very much. Chris Wilder, forgotten Chris Wilder on there. There's not even a tier for Chris Wilder. He is completely down. I'm joking. He's right up there. Chris Wilder is God tier. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. There will be another video coming out in a few days, so I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, if you liked the video, smash a like on it. Let me know who you thought where everyone goes, all you need to put is God tier, colon, and then your players, top tier, colon, then your players, and so on and so forth. I'd love to hear what you guys have got to say. But enough with the negativity. That's happened on Twitter. I've addressed what I think, the reasons why I've put them all here. Maybe I made one or two rash decisions, that's why everyone's gone mad. Maybe McGoldrick could have come down. Stevens and Egan were very close to God. Maybe I should have put Hogan and Medine further up. Maybe I should have put Keane Bryan down. It's just opinions. My opinion at that time. Anyway, let me know yours. Like I said, let me know yours in the comments right now. If you enjoyed the videos, please smash a like on it. It helps the video somewhat. And yeah, subscribe and stay in good nick.